Can you vacuum a wrestling ring? What do you do if you get blood on the canvas? We're talking all types of ring maintenance next. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. If you are as passionate about pro wrestling as I am, you've landed in the exact right place. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe right now. When it comes to maintaining a clean ring, that is a topic I happen to know a few things about. I often get complimented on how clean my canvas is. And maybe that's the one upside of having OCD. But this is something we can all do with a little bit of forethought and care to maintain our canvas, to elongate its lifespan. Any canvas, even a lightweight canvas, is an investment of some money. So let's get the best return on that investment possible. So let's start in the easiest possible place. Of course, you can sweep your canvas with a broom. But pro tip for you, I would dedicate a broom to just being the ring broom. You don't want it to touch the floor. You don't want it to be sweeping up all the nachos after the customers have gone home for the night. The only thing that ring broom touches is your ring. Before we go any further, I need to shout out some of my patrons. So this one is long overdue. Welcome aboard DJ and welcome aboard Chris. I gotta get caught up. And it could be you getting shouted out in a future Till We Make It video. Join this roll call of all my awesome patrons who support the work of Till We Make It. There is a link down below in the description. Of course, you can level up your ring maintenance game by switching from a broom to a vacuum. Yeah, you can vacuum a canvas on a ring, and it will almost certainly do a better job of getting all those small bits and particles up that a broom would miss. But a word to the wise. If you're gonna vacuum your ring, you need to make sure that you switch your vacuum cleaner to its setting for no carpet, or sometimes it is listed as bare floor. Because if it is set to a high pile carpet, the vacuum is gonna miss half the stuff on the canvas. And after about a minute of running on your canvas, it's gonna start to make a weird, funny sound and quite possibly overheat. That's no good. So make sure you make the switch to bare floor before you vacuum. If you're learning something from today's video, would you please give me one tap of your finger right now and leave a like-a-palooza down below? Thanks for doing that. If you've done any amount of ring maintenance in your life, you know nothing ruins a canvas faster than rips and tears. And even getting it professionally stitched back together, it's never really restored to 100% of its original integrity. So anything you can do to minimize rips and tears should be done. And I'll show you what we do. So, not only do we have one canvas on top, a second canvas, a third canvas, underneath, here's a fourth layer. I always know when I'm hitting the bottom layer because that's where we put the dark blue. Because I have so many canvases, the likelihood of this ripping or tearing is minimized. When there's only one canvas on the ring, if a canal forms between the foam mats and someone's foot goes in there, that's when a rip occurs. But because now I've reinforced this so many times over, even if a slight canal does form, I'm protected against rips and tears. If your canvas gets really wet through the course of a show or just through training, like it's absolutely soaked, you're gonna have to take it off the ring in order for it to dry properly. And when you do that, sling it over top of something like a set of bleachers, or in a worst case scenario, at least once, we put ours over the entire ring truck and let it dry in the sun so it was ready to go before the show. But if your canvas is soaked with anything like sweat, don't just fold or roll it up and then leave it sit. This is the absence of ring maintenance, my friends, and later on when you unfurl it, an unpleasant surprise will be waiting for you in the form of the funkiest mildew and bacteria you've ever seen in your entire life. After the ring is done for the day, provided the canvas is staying on, you want to spray the whole thing down with a disinfectant that won't discolor your canvas in any way, shape, or form. You don't want to start with a black canvas and then come in the next morning and find white polka dots all over it because the disinfectant has bleach in it. After I saw them using these blue bottles at the WWE Performance Center, I asked the cleaning crew what they were. And that's how I was introduced to Vapor Fresh, which now I use all the time. And although they aren't paying me to plug them right now, I want them to know I'm open to this in the future, because I use a lot of it.
Uh-oh.
If we're talking about maintenance for the canvas on your ring, then we have to talk about the inevitability of blood landing on it. And the moment that the blood does, as quickly as possible, you want to hit it with some kind of stain remover. We use Resolve. Really drench that blood spot with as much of this as you can, then let it soak for about 5 minutes. Once it's had a chance to break that blood droplet apart a little bit, just grab some paper towels and dab it out of the canvas. Don't wipe, don't smear or smudge it, or you'll never get the blood out. And even so, even if you react very quickly with the stain remover, you probably won't get 100% of the blood out of the canvas. But if you get 80% out, you're winning the war.
Wipe your feet, gang. Keep it clean in there.
The last thing I want to share with you is probably the first thing we should have covered. And I bet you've heard me say this before. We never train in street shoes. When it's time to get in the ring, everyone needs to swap out their street shoes for their wrestling sneakers or boots. These flat-soled footwears, plural, help us preserve the canvas. They are far less likely to tear or damage the canvas in any way. That's why when we're training or when we're performing, street shoes are strictly prohibited. And there you have it. Those are all my tips and tricks for ring maintenance, for keeping your canvas looking pristine. And if you learned something brand new in today's video, would you tell me about it down below in the comments? Appearing on the screen right now is a roll call of all my awesome patrons. And the moment that you join my Patreon as an apprentice, troubadour, or master, I will add you to this roll call and you'll start unlocking some 1,000 exclusive posts all about professional wrestling.